Hello. And of course, welcome. You do know I am glad to be here with you in this terrible place we oftentimes call a world of darkness. This saga is unfolding before our very eyes faster than light can race. Have you have you ever seen a wraith, a mage, a vampire, and a changeling jaunt across the globe? Neither have I. I'm getting ahead of myself. I shouldn't take the very important job away from a very capable person, or monster, or spirit. Whatever they may be, that creature will do something very important for us now. They will give us a recap of last week's session.
Are you talking about me? I'm going to assume so. Last week, I met up with a very beautiful individual who was quite curious of artifacts in the area that I was at. But shortly before that, I was pulled into some sort of ethereal realm to talk to a mystic with horns growing out of his head. He asked me to come to him, which I denied, but said he is more than welcome to come to me. From there, the beautiful person, as before mentioned, asked a lot of questions about the artifacts and how long they had been there before discovering that what he was looking for happened to be my planchette. After grabbing it, the mystic then made himself known at our location before pulling us to some weird building with shadows that were moving around that turned out to be a specter, where we met a soulless one. And she was quite curious and jumpy when I drained her phone battery. After that, we all teleported across the globe. And now we're in a cave, I think. I'm not sure. I think I got all the gaps there.
A wonderful job. In
Two
situation,
points of order.
please.
The artifact wasn't there that I was looking for, and vampires do have souls. That is all.
LOL. Thank you. In the situation that you would fail a check, you can, because of this recap, choose one time this session to succeed instead. You can also give that success to someone else should you be in the same scene and see them fail. We will call these story points, and giving us the recap and getting the nomination at the end of the session will award you one of these story points. You can only have one story point at a time, so use it or lose the value of getting future story points. So
Do I need to make a decision now?
Right now, we are going to resume our story. Not quite where our dear friend Sylvie has left off, but we need to pull back the veil and pull back time just briefly. Before that beautiful changeling individual had stumbled into the fray of Sylvie uh, and Janice's uh, meeting, of which Stellan made sure to attend to the body and had his charge, Darren, go and make sure she received medical attention. We find Janice this evening in the New York City State Hospital in the private ward that her family had, of course, paid for. Janice, as you awake, eyes fluttering open ever so slightly, you find that there is someone standing over you. You can't quite make out the shape or the shadow. Your throat feels dry. Your head still feels as though it's going to explode. But he begins to speak as soon as he sees your eyes flutter open. Oh, Neron, Neron, I think she's waking.
Janice, are you okay? What happened?
Her face slightly contorts, confused. I'm not entirely sure. Where am I?
You are in the hospital.
Why?
That is what I'm wondering.
She starts doing a mental check. She focuses on her toes and her legs and her all the way up her body to her arms, trying to decipher and remember what was going on. Sorry. Who are you?
What do you mean?
Starts to rub her eyes a little bit.
It's Neron.
Oh, right. Right. Well, of course, I'm happy to see you. Naturally. I've a little disoriented. Where's Sathandra?
She said she was going to fetch a glass of water. She should be
Right.
coming back soon.
I see. Where are my things?
I am unsure. I myself have not been here long. I just arrived.
I see. So why are you here?
I got a
Ron,
call,
she
Cesar.
hard, huh?
What?
She hit her head hard, huh?
It seems so.
Right.
I got the call from the hospital.
I see. Okay. The last thing that I remember is I was just working at the office. There was someone there. I don't. I believe I may have drawn attention. Where get me out of this bed and where are my
Whoa.
things?
Slow down. You are injured.
Janice! Janice, you're awake!
I
Sathandra
am.
pushes through the front door, and you see that she does actually have a large glass of water and a hospital mug. She immediately rushes to your side, pushes past Neron, and kneels by your side. Oh, thank
Cuidado.
Don't fuss over me. But I would like that glass of water.
I figured as much. Here. You scared the life from me. When I
You were
found you,
always such a worrywart.
with good reason. What
Why?
happened, Janice?
I don't know. I was studying something. Where are my things?
Don't worry, they're secure.
There was something, an artifact that I was studying. A planchette. Quite curious. And I think it drew attention. Unwanted, of course. I don't really remember, though, what necessarily happened after it. I believe that it might have belonged to a wraith. Not really sure how peculiar they are.
I haven't dealt with a wraith in a long time.
I know it was a treat, wasn't it? Well, not really, since I'm here. But it's curious. Very curious. But I would like to go now. Hospitals
Mistress.
make me uncomfortable.
Oh, mistress, please. You have to gather your strength.
Okay, why can't I gather my strength at someplace a bit more comfortable?
She leans in. Your fiance has signed your care over to the doctors for the time being.
Of course he would. All right, fine. I'll be a good little girl and I'll stay put. Somebody give me something for this pounding headache.
I'll go talk to the doctor about this.
You're such a dear.
And Sathandra very quickly gets up and she has a quick glance towards Neron and Cesar, nods her head slowly, as if acknowledging them, and stalks out of the room, leaving you with the two of them. You hear under his breath the other man, not Neron, say, Pinche bruja.
She does not like to be called that.
Oh, lo siento. The slip of the tongue. I
Oh,
will
of
leave you
course it was.
to talk. I'm sure you have a lot to catch up.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Eh, Cesar, por favor. She just woke up. Give her a minute. She's probably still reeling.
Quite.
She should stay in the hospital, like you told her. But it's not my business. I'll go
Well,
now, okay? Just know that I'm outside. All right, Neron?
gracias, Cesar.
De nada.
She now just looks slightly annoyed.
Door slams behind Cesar as he leaves.
I apologize for Cesar. He can be a little. How do you say? Prejudiced?
Well, certainly he's going to have a slip of the tongue in front of Sithandra, and I would be most excited to see what comes of that.
I'd rather not. He's an angry man, but he's a good retainer.
If you say so.
Now, you say you saw someone standing before you?
Yes. She was a woman, and she seemed young, blonde, red, quite attractive. But I could tell immediately, I don't know what she was doing there. I can only hazard a guess that it had to do something with the planchette. I wonder, I need to know if I still have it. I don't remember. I just, quite irritating. Found me. Who brought me here? You don't know.
I was told it was Sithandra.
Sithandra found me and brought me here.
Well, yes. Who else?
My mind is still hazy. I don't remember where she was at the time. I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm curious, though. Oh, anyways, welcome to New York. How are you finding it, dear?
It's a little loud for my taste.
But so entertaining.
I prefer the streets of Cuba, but that's just me.
So are you here on business?
Business? I am here for my fiancé. I heard you were hurt.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't know why everybody gets so distressed when it comes to me. Been through worse.
Maybe, but we are not like many of the things we've encountered. We aren't very durable.
If we aren't very durable, then we wouldn't be as successful as we are. Now would we?
Mayhaps.
But
that is more intelligence than durability.
Oh, potato.
Now, I believe it is best you continue to rest.
Oh, absolutely. How would I ever, speak against you? You know best.
Oh, no. I only do this because I care for you.
Of
You know
course.
this. I will investigate on how you came unconscious.
I suggest going back to the museum and figuring out who's on the guest list or who has been authorized to enter. I'm curious about that.
I already have people working on it.
Thank you.
I will let you know what I come up with.
Oh, where is Sithandra with that medicine?
I'll be taking my leave. Rest well.
Do take
Janice.
care.
I will be back to make sure you are still resting.
No doubt.
Hasta luego. Ron walks out of the room.
And you find Cesar waiting for you right outside the door, his foot tapping in annoyance, his arms folded tightly across his chest. He shares a look with you as you two begin to make your way out of the hospital. You see Sithandra on the other end of the hall, making her way into Janice's room. And as Janice, you see the door open, Sithandra enters again. The nurse says that, unfortunately, you just took pain medications, and they won't be giving you any more oxycodone. Not today. Even hunters can get addicted, you know.
Addiction can be broken. Fine. I enjoy suffering in silence.
That is very apparent. I mean, look at who you are betrothed to. You both share this wonderful quality of lashing yourselves before the world does it for you. It's
A talent, I know. I'm sorry. Sithandra, what do you remember? I vaguely remember anything.
well, I came to fetch you. You had been in the office for quite some time, and I'd been waiting in the lower levels, taking care of some of the other more mundane work. But an ambulance pulled up to the front of the building, and I had a bad feeling. It was right after a very strange power surge. I felt something
Mm.
within Paradox Realm. Something was melding quintessence. It manipulated something. I know that we were speaking of a wraith being attached to this planchette, but Janice, there was a mage there. And I do think that they might be responsible for your state now. I've been working on tracking them down, and I've acquired a few artifacts that will allow us to do just that. Now, I know that your fiancé has asked that you stay in your bed, but I know you better than he, and the arrangements have been made.
You know I love you the most, don't you?
As you should.
Tell me, though, do I still have the planchette?
I was not able to locate it in your office. A man named Darren Dixon, you are aware of him, you remember. He's the man from the Gimmelwald Foundation, the one who donated those artifacts for
Yes,
that stipend.
of course I do.
He is the one, apparently, who found you. He called the ambulance that came to pick you up.
Huh. Hmm. Interesting. I should pay him a visit and thank him.
I think he's gone back to London this evening.
Of course he did.
That is nothing that we can't take care of. So the question is, mistress, will we track down this mage responsible, or will we see your dear savior Mr. Dixon first.
Hmm. Well, I think Mr. Dixon might be a little bit more helpful in this regard. While it would be a shame to let him know that I may have lost the planchette, I am a bit more curious as to what he knows. Quite the timing. And he left rather quickly. I didn't even get a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, my apologies, mistress. That is not the case. And she'll step outside the room and she'll show through the windowed door a bouquet of flowers, but they actually have lilies, which you're very allergic to.
Killing me slowly, I see.
Your fiance, of course, brought you your favorite flower.
Did he? Or did he forget? Is it really my favorite flower?
And Sathandra will actually bring in a bouquet of Janice's favorite flowers. Though Neron is not your favorite person, he is at least thoughtful, mistress. You have to give him credit for that.
He is trying. Sweet. Let's see if he can't be of use.
It's that
I would like.
retainer of his that's the problem.
Well, one of these days, I'm sure you'll have your fun with him.
Is that permission, mistress?
You know, you don't need my permission. Not for that.
So a little hex can go a long way, is what you're saying.
Oh, it certainly could. Certainly could. Wouldn't it be such a terrible thing that every time he says something nasty out of his mouth about you, he gets a nasty stub toe? Mundane, I'm sure, but. Well. Can't be too cruel.
Well, that's no.
Anyways. I would like to. I'm interested to see what Neron can find out about this mage. It seems that he's already heading towards the museum and putting those pieces together. I think I owe Mr. Dixon a visit.
Very well. I will arrange. Would you like to travel by the Vale or by jet?
Let us by jet. I think it'll give me some time to think and rest. Something that everybody is nagging me to do.
I'll make preparations. When I return, we will make our escape.
You make it sound so fun.
Everything is more fun with you, mistress.
Hmm. I will wait ever so patiently.
Very well. I'll make haste. And she very quickly gathers her things and begins to leave. Oh, I almost forgot. There is security footage, and I did look it over. There is something strange about this occurrence, uh, in general. And she will produce to you a tablet, and you'll see the events that transpired. You'll see that uh, there was, in fact, Darren Dixon, accompanied by someone else. You're not sure who, looks probably like some donor or some benefactor of some sort. They came across your body, but they seemed to be talking for quite some time with something that isn't on the camera at all. And then, very suddenly, the camera cuts out comes back in, and there's a figure crowded in some strange anomaly that makes it so that way it's very impossible to make out their form. And it you see at this point the found this assumed benefactor um who is sort of standing over your body and checking your vitals, making sure you're okay. Um, Suddenly, uh, with this strange anomaly, um, after the camera or the video feed again cuts in and out, is just gone moments later. You can't see how they left, how they disappeared, but whatever it was wasn't picked up. The anomaly is gone, so is the founder, and moments later, Darren Dixon arrives with some first aid personnel, and they begin to check your vitals. And you see later on, they bring you down in a stretcher.
Hmm. Yes. I very much want to have a conversation with him.
As we fade to black. And we reach through the shadows to the other side of the world, where night has begun to fall on a small druid grove as the morning sun in New York starts to rise. In Ireland, Stag's preparations for the evening's rituals are coming to a head. I'm curious as to what some of these things might look like, Stag. What are you doing this evening? As you are hosting guests for the first time in a very, very long time. They'll definitely need to eat something. You're not sure what. Um, all of these things kind of swirl in your head, and you get a little overwhelmed. And one of the thoughts that you have is that you have yet to see where your brother has run off to.
Definitely say I'm a bit of a hectic panic moment right now as I'm running from place to place, picking up random items, seemingly random items, and putting them in other seemingly unimportant locations, looking at the different animals, making sure they're in their little hidey holes that I've made for them so they can rest for the evening. The day animals and the night animals, I make sure they're able to get out and roam about as they would see fit. Then the realization hits me. Oh dear, I didn't have enough food for guests. I'll walk back over to where the group is huddled together in the cave. A quick question, friends. What exactly do you eat?
Well, nothing I think you'd be able to assist with.
Oh, don't worry, I know what you eat.
Then why'd you ask me?
I apologize. I've never had so many visitors before. At least not ones that could talk back.
Well, real food's fine, but I prefer imaginary food.
Like, make-believe food?
Yeah, it tastes way better.
I'm not sure how to prepare that, but I can try. Okay, I'll go and, such a unique diet. I'm just gonna walk off and try my hardest to get a place set up where my compatriots can sit down and eat. Stag is going to take what Stellan said very literally and pretend that he is setting a table and pretend that he is preparing a bowl of salad and just kind of try to remember where that is.
That smells marvelous.
It was supposed to be a salad.
Salads have a smell, I think. Do they have a smell? Look, Stellan.
A for effort.
Oh, good. I thought I
Your
messed up.
your hospitality is appreciated.
Of course. My grove is your grove.
So we all have these shards, and there's something after us for the shards. And we're supposed to assemble the shards and then fight something for more shards. Is that the gist of it, Stag?
Put bluntly, yes. We gathered more shards than the entity hunting us does, and we use our combined power to overwhelm it and hopefully save our lives.
And one of these shard bearers is a a hunter
Yes, that is correct.
that hunts monsters
That is also correct.
like us.
Indeed.
How's that going to work?
We could try asking nicely for them to not hunt us.
That is an option.
Oh, good. I thought that was a terrible idea.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I said it is an option. But I am all for options.
Oh,
So what happens when all the shards come together?
I don't know. I assume it would do something similar to what it has been doing for us thus far. It would enable all of us to access powers beyond our normal capabilities. We would become, in a sense, just for a moment, perhaps, omnipotent.
Is that
And-
how you created the Dome of Light?
Oh, goodness, no. That is a simple cantrip.
A cantrip? Like
Magic.
Indeed. I'll hold my hand out and conjure forth a small mote of light using one prime.
Wow.
You see a small white star form in my palm.
Sylvie pops her head out from the wall behind them, just kind of watching.
This is
And
that's real, right? Everyone else can see that, right? Well, it's kind of a moot question because you all might not be real. I might be dead, and this is heaven or hell.
You are dead, but you are not in either of those places.
That's reassuring. He's actually doing that, right? We'll see the ball of light floating in his hand.
I just start creating more and just start juggling them.
That's lovely.
I'm sorry, I'm quite nervous. Like I said, I've never had so many guests before. You are all comfortable?
you're a prodigal. Both of you are prodigals.
What?
There's a lot of different things that have started as dreams and things long lost that have run off and flourished in the autumn world, like mages and vampires and werewolves, and I've never met a prodigal before. The guys back home were never going to believe me.
I'm popular?
Well, I mean, not in the sense if you were going to a dance club or anything, but you're super exciting. I mean, I've got a million questions. Like, do you have to think about it? Do other people have to think about it? If you go too far, do the nightmares come? What do you think about it? He just keeps going.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of things, actually.
No to the first one. Yes, sometimes to the second one. Yes, always to the third one. I'm sorry, I forgot the rest of them.
Do we think a lot? Keeper answers all your questions.
And meanwhile, Sylvie, you watch curiously as yet again the mortals toil in their world and seem to leave you behind. They've all but forgotten your existence. They've all but decided that you do not belong here, Sylvie. That you should go back to Stygia. Or you should come back to me. You know it's where you started. The shadow. Me. I am your true self. You should listen to me more often. If you had listened before, we would not be in this situation.
I know.
Left
I
alone.
shouldn't have gone in. I know.
You should
I
have taken.
I can't get back. That's the problem. How do we get back?
You should have taken that hunter when I told you.
I tried.
You did not try hard enough. You're useless. You're weak. You should let me take over. I will show you how to do it.
Last time you took over, I got in trouble and we ended up in this mess.
Let me drive. It is okay, Sylvie.
No,
Sure, everything
not yet.
turns out. Sylvie!
I ignore you now. I'm ignoring you.
We're gonna see if you can resist the shadow as Jacqueline is gonna attempt to push into the driver's seat here, is going to attempt to make things a little harder for you, Sylvie, to simply just push her down.
What is she doing?
Out of curiosity, or at least I'm able to hear Sylvie, that half of the conversation, right?
Oh yeah, Sylvie's usually not the one to keep her inner monologues inner. It seems as though she is often talking to herself, and this would be one of those instances.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Go ahead.
I'm probably like flying between walls right now and just like talking to myself, like spectral pacing.
Are you okay?
What do I need to roll on that check?
You're gonna find out the next time you attempt to use any of your abilities.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. Are you doing okay?
Oh, I'm doing quite well, though I am very nervous.
That is a very beautiful salad.
Oh, who are you talking to, Stack?
Oh, Miss Sylvie.
Oh,
What?
our friend from the museum.
Yes, very much.
She's having a jaunt through the walls. That's normal.
Wait, you can see her too?
Yes, I can. When I want to. Though,
Would you like to be able to see her too?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel left out now.
Okay, stay still. I'm going to step in front of you, and I'm going to grab a little bit of dirt from my pouch and throw it into your eyes.
What are you
Just to
using?
be clear, that's not where I
to-
stopped. I don't just
Where do
stop
you-
by throwing dirt in his eyes. That's just going to blind him.
What are you using here?
I'm going to use a combination of, I believe it is Prime and Spirit. No, Life and Spirit. Yep, Life and Spirit 2. So I'm going to use that to grant him the ability to see and sense spirits.
All right. You're going to roll. The DC is equal to your highest sphere used.
Yes, it's going to be 2.
And we did set up macros last session, right?
Nope.
Yes, we did. It's actually going to be difficulty 3.
One more time, Stag?
Sorry, I was saying it's going to be, the difficulty is going to be 3, not 2.
Yeah. It should be pretty easy for you to do this. You get
Phenomenal success!
a phenomenal success.
Yeah.
Lovely. And as you open your eyes, Stellan, what was dirt, pocket sand,
I poured water over his eyes. I want to make that very clear. I did not leave sand in his eyes.
well, hold on.
Hey,
Hold
this
on,
is
hold on.
Armani. Careful.
Hold on. As the pocket sand leaves your pocket, it turns into that same blue fairy-like dust. It coats Stellan's face, and the water that you pour over it does clean and cleanse him of the blue specks and freckles that sort of dusted his body and face.
And open your eyes.
Oh, you're there again.
You can actually see quite a few spirits wandering around, mostly animals, but you do see Sylvie now.
And what you will see is a very stunning woman for like the pinup era.
You say the pinup era?
She's
That is
real
correct.
pretty.
A classic beauty. One for the ages.
This is a silly question,
Pleasure.
but please go along with introductions. I apologize.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. We
Already met.
didn't introduce ourselves at the museum. I'm Stellan. What's your name?
Sylvie.
Nice to meet you, Sylvie.
A new friendship is born.
And you're Stag, and catch your name,
Oh, you
Miss Prodigal.
all can call me Keeper.
Keeper of what?
Oh, a lot of things. So it's
Yeah.
if you just go on and on and on and on, it gets quite to be a mouthful. So just Keeper keeps things short, sweet.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I imagine that's the same with Stag. Guess that's short for something. And Stellan, based on your armor, she's like a hand motion. I'm sure you have a title with all the things on it.
It's just Stag.
It is Sir Stellan, we're House Denon. Well, I'm on a quest, you see. Well, not so much quest, but I'm oathbound to this. And I tap my shard, and honestly, I've learned more in the last hour or so about this thing than I have since I got it. So apparently we're working together now.
I like that, yes.
I am all for teamwork. Especially when there's a giant shadow monster chasing me through my own streets in Haven. Did you say that we're in Ireland?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
I've never been to the island. Island.
It is quite nice. Except for the old lady outside the woods. She throws rotten potatoes at me sometimes. She's not very nice.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Oh, but I do have my brother. He's always there to help me.
There. Do you?
Oh, yes. 2 peas in a pod we are.
Oh, like look
Actually,
around.
now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know where he is. I'm just going to start calling out for him. Hut! Where are you? We have guests! He's shy, I'm sorry.
Those of you who are sensitive to the senses will first feel the hairs on your body stand up, as if the air becomes charged with energy. You see not far from the distance, in the night sky, as if the stars begin to come down from the cosmos in the distance and converge on a single point. The light begins to grow and grow, and suddenly your senses also feel heavy footsteps, or hoof steps, as we should say. Will you describe to us what approaches embossed in light from the distance?
As the storyteller said, in the distance you do see a converging light that eventually takes the form of a large albino elk that is positively glowing in the literal sense as it sheds light out quite a distance from itself. The most eye-catching feature of this entity, aside from the fact that it actually glows, is the intricacy of its antlers, where it's more of a woven tapestry made by the grandest of artists in an age bygone.
Oh wow! Can people see that, or is it just the dust?
Oh, no, he's very visible. He likes being seen sometimes.
Oh, and keeper, ixnay on the armory, and it's good way to attract hunters.
What?
I've
She's like
not heard that
transfixed by
language
the.
before.
She's like transfixed by the elk and turns to you. Actually, on the what?
Oh, you didn't learn Pig Latin. Don't talk about the armor.
Orcs can talk in their own language.
The armor? What armor? Your armor?
Yeah, people can't see that unless I bring it into this world.
Oh, okay. Why are hunters hunting you? I kind of get why they don't like me. I kind of look around.
Well,
I don't know about Stab. What's wrong with you?
they hunt me for the same reason they hunt you. They're ignorant and afraid.
Well, my kind actively hunt them, so I kind of get it. So you also hunt kind?
Well, there's a lot of like you. We need people to survive. We just aren't quite as well. I suppose we're still a little predatory, but it's beneficial to them. And well, there are others of us that bring bad things into the world too. But it's really just they want to. We're different, so they want to destroy us.
And what exactly are you?
Oh, well, that's complicated. But the simple version is I'm in two worlds. And, well, this isn't getting away from the simple version. I guess it's better to just show you. And I am going to invoke the weird.
The dark, what?
Weird?
Let's get weird.
I think it's WYRD. Which I think is word. We'll invoke the word. And that will bring my fairy mean to the forefront. And I will go from this cocky teenage playboy to a unearthly beautiful knight with long blonde hair, full ornate plate, a little falcon sitting on their shoulder. We are of mortal body and fairy spirit. We follow the old ways. And we are what the humans tell fairy tales about. We are the Fae.
Huh.
I remember reading books about people like you.
All good things, I hope.
Oh no, they were all very bad. They were not very flattering.
Yes, and just like the fairy tales, kindness and truth are double-edged swords. Some of my kind use to their advantage.
So, what exactly do you hunt kind for?
Oh,
Right.
to continue to exist. Humans need to dream and create beautiful things and remember all the beauty in this world. We asphalt and 2-hour commutes and 9-to-5 office jobs are really our biggest enemy.
You eat creativity? Or like dream?
Yeah. In a way, I don't physically eat it, but like I was saying, imaginary food does taste better.
Huh. Then maybe you should come by my shop sometime. I think we can form a mutually beneficial business arrangement.
Oh, that would be much obliged. My original earthly endeavors are a little bit in question right now. Just like the fairy tales, going back and forth between two worlds, you sometimes lose some time, sometimes gain some time, and that makes mortal dealings very difficult.
Huh. Alright, well, what about... kind of look at Sylvie and look at Stag. Do you consume things? You were asking us about food, Stag. What do you eat?
Mostly potatoes.
Do you hunt people?
Oh, goodness, no. I'm a vegetarian.
I'll look at Sylvie. Do you hunt people? I think she walked through a wall again.
Might be muted, Sylvie.
I do occasionally have to consume magic, but it's not from me. It's from my brother. I just turned towards Hart, who is now just standing next to us now.
So, is he a spirit or a patronus, or is he actually your brother, or like a soul brother?
He's my brother. I'm not sure how else to describe it.
Cool. Cool.
Hey, sister, soul sister, wanna get that flow, sister.
Hey, yeah, keep your choice.
He is the smart one.
Uh,
That's what he keeps saying.
Cool. Well, not one to look a gift magical glowing elk and elk man in the mouth. This is fine.
Oh, we are very much in danger.
Apparently, something burned me. Wait, Sylvie, are you back from your escapade in the walls?
Oh, yes. Hello?
Do you eat people?
Do I eat people?
Yes.
I don't think so. Never tried.
Well. What was that?
What?
Right. Alright. Well, looks like only 2 out of 4 of us are going to be a problem for, well, dealing with the hunter.
Oh, the hunter from the museum?
You...
Yes.
Yes. We must retrieve her.
What happened to the hunter at the museum?
No, she fainted from the effects of this one here. I'm gonna point at Stag.
I just kind of lower my head, went shamefully, like, I'm so sorry.
So we have to get this hunter to work with us, and you knocked her out?
That reminds me. The museum. I am going to take out a little ocarina, and the falcon on my shoulder flies up in circles and lands on my hand. And I roll up the invoice that I got and flip it into a little pouch and whisper to him, Zephyr Fly, find Darren's dreams, deliver this message, tell him find this fitment and return it to the Countess. I'll be in touch. And the falcon takes off and he plays a little song on his ocarina. Happens to be the Legend of Zelda.
Watch out for Mr. Crow. He's very aggressive.
The little falcon flies off and flips into a different realm.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought that was going to end up with a fight with Mr. Crow. He was not very nice.
Keeper sees the bird just disappear in midair, and she's just gonna look around for a second to, like, for any checks that she might have that she's having a delusion. No, this is real. Alright. Fine.
Keeper.
Zephyr's a dream. They are made of dream stuff, and they can go back and forth. Modern technology doesn't work very well in the dreaming, so we have to rely on conventional means to get messages back and forth.
I think I saw something about that on Netflix. So, what do we do now?
Well, now I must locate where our hunter friend is, and hopefully through the help of our esteemed Fae, we may be able to step sideways to meet them.
I will pretend that all makes sense, and I agree with it. I give you a big thumbs up.
Well, you're in luck. I'm a wayfinder. I've got an extensive map of all the trods. We can go wherever you want.
Oh, goody. It's going to take me some time to get the exact location, but until then, please make yourselves feel at home. My grove is your grove.
I'll look at all the pictures on the walls.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything of the old world or of the dreaming in the area.
I'm going to knock something that is knockable off the wall.
Unfortunately, you're in a cave. So there's nothing knockable off the walls, but you do actually see that there are stalactites hanging from the ceiling.
Ooh, I want to see if one is loose. Knock it down.
It would be a shame if something were to happen to someone. Wouldn't it, Sylvie? And as you're walking through the cave to prepare your implements, Stag, you feel the tremors of Earth quickly rage through the entirety of the channel, almost directly through the cavern and into the deeper parts that perhaps even you haven't explored yet. But as they do, and they quickly subside, you look around and see that nothing strange seems to be the culprit, but suddenly all of the stalactites begin to fall, um, putting you in a bit of danger here. Now, Sylvie, you meant to only knock over one, but Jacqueline had other ideas. I believe when you attempt to, or I believe when I attempt to use your abilities, I use the Pathos dice. Is that correct? I use your Pathos dice against you.
I believe you can also use my angst as well.
And we'll be using those so that way Jacqueline can get a bit of an upper hand here, especially since you denied her so much earlier. She just wants you to possess something. She wants you to use her to her fullest extent. So as you attempt just to entertain yourself for a moment, to get a laugh, for a mere practical joke, she turns it into something deadly. And very quickly, Stag, you find yourself having to dodge out of the way of falling rocks.
Actually, I have a counteroffer. I am going to hold my hand up towards the falling debris, and utilizing Matter 2 and Prime 2, I'm going to simply dematerialize the falling stalactites into raw quintessence.
Okay. First thing I need you to do, even though you are a very powerful mage, I need you to make a reflex save because you have to be fast
Oh,
enough
yes,
to do
absolutely.
this. One more time.
I was agreeing with you. That definitely makes sense. Should we call that dexterity and alertness?
I agree. And if you pass the difficulty of Sylvie, your angst is at what currently?
I don't know. I don't know what you feel about that.
We're gonna start it at 3 here.
Okay.
Phenomenal success.
And you look back, Sylvie, you might be a little taken aback. You might still be fighting with Jacqueline. What is your reaction when this, like I mentioned before, this little practical joke kind of turns into something a lot worse?
Sylvie's angry about it. She's angry that the shadow ruins her fun.
See a fuming Sylvie when you turn around. Obviously, the source of this. You're not sure why she would attempt to crush you under rocks, though, Stag.
So, if you'll recall, this whole area is under Sovereign for 3 scenes, and someone just took a hostile action, which would break protocol.
Does the shadow count, however? The shadow is an extension of Sylvie
Well,
that was not a part of.
Shadow count as me. Yes, shadow counts.
That is entirely up to the game master, and probably should be determined whether Sylvie gets the penalty or Shadow gets the penalty, or both get the penalty, or neither get the penalty. I don't care.
I see Shadow as a separate entity, so Shadow will get the penalty. Because Sylvie had a different action that was not going to harm Stag than the action that Shadow had chose to push into.
So the weight of the rules of the world will reflex against Shadow.
Oh, now the next time I attempt to do something, I'll get a penalty, correct? Or explain that to me one more time, please.
You get you automatically botch your next. I believe it was 4 successes that I got on the Sovereign roll. So you automatically botch your next 4 rolls.
Wow. Okay. Heard.
While I hold my hand out to gather the quintessence that I've just harvested from the stalagmites or stalactites, or where the fuck which one it is from the roof, I'm gonna look over to Sylvie. Is everything okay? I hope I did not make you upset.
Everything is lovely. This is quite the space you have.
Thank you. I found it this way. Minus the paintings, that's me.
You should see my place. You want to come see it?
Just out of curiosity, is this something that you just do?
Do what?
Try to kill your fellow compatriots.
I haven't tried to kill you.
On the contrary, actually, you broke quite a few lights that I was using for cover against the shadow creatures before you even said hello.
Oh, you was afraid of the dark?
I am when it burns me, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were afraid of the dark.
I
That's
feel like
something
the
that's
point
very
you're...
natural to be afraid of. You shouldn't be afraid of the dark.
I can't see the dark.
Oh,
I actually cannot, which is weird. I probably shouldn't have told you that.
Would you like to see my home too?
No.
I'd love to. Oh,
Wait. Do you have a home?
Of course I have a home. It's a very nice mansion.
Kind of looked at Stellan and Stag for like confirmation.
Alan shrugs.
I do not know what a mansion is, but it sounds lovely. I'm going to use the quintessence I harvested from the rocks and feed it to Hart.
Hart now stands much closer to you and almost in between you and Sylvie as you begin to pull together your ritual preparations. You're attempting to locate the hunter, correct?
Indeed.
So how are you going to go about this? What does the rest of the party see as you start to get ready?
I'm going to use my scrying turtle shell to begin with. I'm going to be first. I'm going to place the turtle shell on the ground, and I'm going to roll my bones in there. So I'm going to be using my scrying bones for this to get a general gist of a location of where she might be, and then I'll move further on and pinpoint a more accurate location by completing the ritual, filling the shell with water, and then sprinkling some magic in it.
I'm going to say because of these ritual preparations, because the amount of time that you have, because you're in your chantry, and because you have your avatar, a roll is not necessary. Immediately, you feel the effects of the ritual begin to take place, and it transports your consciousness first, before projecting it into the shell. And you find yourself in a very strange, very mechanical bird.
Oh, this is odd.
As we begin to fade to shadow, Janice, the jet has an ETA of landing within the hour, and you have found yourself waking up to Sathandra's soft and dulcet voice.
Is this your gentle way of telling me we are almost here?
As gentle as I can be, mistress.
Suppose you've run a little bit of those painkillers, did you? It doesn't matter. I'll survive.
You do know that I meant what I said. This isn't the first time in the last few months you've been in the hospital.
Well, oopsie doopsie. What do you want me to say?
I want you to say that you'll be more careful and that you will ask for my help at least.
Oh, very well.
Mistress, please do not brush me off. Family does not retain our name, our legacy, without the help of their retainers and those around them. You continue to run off as a lone wolf. Even Neron keeps his retainer by his side. I feel as though you use me more as a secretary than a well and capable mage.
Oh, my beloved. All right, I see that you're upset. I will certainly take into consideration. I will try not to wander off as a lone wolf. I'll keep you closer.
That is truly all I ask. Now, as I've mentioned, we're less than an hour away. We will be landing in London shortly. I have already talked to the Grimwald Foundation and arranged a meeting with it's Darren Dixon. Apparently, he is the CEO, or the standing CEO. There was a trading of power, and it looks as though Entex is attempting a merger with this foundation.
Hmm. Interesting. What's this other merging places? Do we know anything about it?
Yes, well, as you are quite aware, Entex is the company that has hired you to
Yes.
curate the collection that they received from the Gimmelwald Foundation. But Entex is quite the monopoly. They have a hand in about everything. They used to be known as Thoreau International. It was founded by a Bartholomew Thoreau in the early 1900s, about 1943, I believe, was around its establishment, but some of the details are quite hazy, as it was not a legitimate start. Because of that, a
I
lot of its
just,
documents and legal uh, arrangements had been forged, and it did lead to the downfall of Bartholomew Thoreau. He died, leaving in his last will and testament the enterprise to a young benefactor of his family, a Cedric Mulvaney. Cedric would then go on to rebrand Bartholomew's Thoreau enterprise as Entex.
know this, don't I? There's so many little details.
It
I
worries
know
me,
that man.
mistress. You do. You've worked with him. It is clear that you have hit your head a lot harder than we thought. Maybe Neron was right. Maybe we should take it easy.
I am going to have a conversation with Mr. Dixon. All I need is a little bit of rest in the meantime. I'm not going to do anything else, so please, Sithandra, please don't waggle your finger at me. My brain can only handle so much. I know so many things. That's why I take notes.
This is the Met Gala all over again. You were supposed to read up on the names that I gave you, but I still had to reintroduce every single one of them to you. And that was before your first concussion.
And I appreciate you the most.
She sighs, shuffles through some more paperwork. Appreciation does go a long way. I have some preparations of my own to make before all of this gets underway.
Sithandra, you
Yes,
know that I wouldn't be where I am today without you. You know that, right? We all have our strengths and weaknesses. And without you, I wouldn't be as strong. I do appreciate you.
I know, mistress. I just wish you would appreciate yourself a little more. And she begins to stand up and head to the back cabin. Leaving you there with your thoughts.
Janice seems to reluctantly listen to what Sithandra says about notes. She starts with a sigh, going through some papers, but she seems rather distracted. She starts to doodle images of the planchette. She seems bothered by it.
You're sure that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, please.
She's going to send a text message to Nerone, giving some of the details of the planchette, asking him to look for it in the museum. She seems a little obsessed about it. Pensive. But she does try to read some papers.
Neron, you get a text message on your phone. Not many people have your number, so you know it has to be one of very few people. When you see that it's from Janice, you read it and it's a request to look for this very specific item, and you find it drawn in a notebook, and a picture of it was sent to you.
Neron will text back. Very well. I will do my best.
She replies with a very, something that he would know to be incredibly sarcastic. Kisses.
Cesar, keep an eye out for these.
Inside the Entex building, where you currently are searching for clues and answers, Neron, you come across the same security footage that was shown by Sithandra to Janice. You see a very strange looking 20-something-year-old who approached with Darren Dixon. You see them check her unconscious body. And you see even before then how she became unconscious. You see that she seemed to be talking to or dealing with some invisible creature. And you are able to track down that she attempted to touch the artifact right as the power went out of the entire building. The building goes dark, and when the video feed comes back on, she's unconscious. And this is just one of many distortions in the film. And you can, from what you can tell, there are supernatural forces at work, and not just the forces of a wraith. From what you can tell, there might even be something more dangerous, whatever this strange anomaly on the screen is. But you can't quite tell. On the other side of the world, however, Janice is just now landing in London. And very quickly, we find ourselves in the Gimmelwald offices, where Darren Dixon is awaiting you, Janice. But as you open the doors, you find that his secretary at the front desk is happily there to greet you. Sithandra follows behind closely. And we, because of the time are going to begin here to fade to black. We have to start doing our normal closing time things and all of that, so that way we don't go far too over. Because I know it's short, but I really hope it was sweet. I was hoping to get to the conversation with Darren, see a little more of Neron. I know I said it would be this one episode and then we'd see you in a couple, but I might need you for the next one again, Neron, because it's hard to budget time with a role-playing game. So if that's possible, we'll have Neron again next week, to finish out this little arc of the story. And I'm really, really interested in seeing what happens when you guys all meet, because it's something that we
Me
talk.
too.
Yeah. Something that we often say in a lot of my 5th edition games and other fantasy role-playing games. It's actually a song. And it goes a little like this. Never split the party. If you do, you'll die.
I
But it's
love that
true.
song.
It's
I
true.
am desperately trying to make that not happen.
I think you'll get that. I think you will get that. But yeah, y'all, let's start with our stars and wishes so we can start closing out the session. For me, biggest star, let's start with our guest star. Round of applause. Thank you, Neron, for reprising your role, coming in and killing it, as always and
Mhm.
as expected. So big shout out there. But I also want to point to Sylvie, who has really been. I know you didn't get a lot of airtime, but I just want to point this out. Um, we had a long talk about how Wraith rules work and how they work in the dynamic of the game, and I just want to shout you out for being so absolutely dedicated to everyone's comfortability, so absolutely dedicated to making sure that everyone has fun at the table. And it really shows in everything that you do, even though you're playing a mischievous character, even though you're trying to push those boundaries, and you're playing a system that is very adversarial. You've done so much work to make sure that everyone at the table feels comfortable. And I'm just really thankful to have you as a player. And I don't think anyone else could have brought justice to the system in this format the way that you are. So just another shout out there. But my actual nomination is going to go to Stag because I'm a little impartial. Mage just might be my favorite system. It's too good. It's so fun. I cannot wait for Mage 5th edition. You have no idea.
I second
But
that emotion.
yeah, I want to play a party of mages next. I really, really do. Um, but with that being said, my wish for next session, you guys all in the same room so I don't have to do so many fade cuts.
And that thing is supposed to be easy.
Yeah, tell me about it. But that's gonna give you the nomination stack. So do you want to do stars and wishes for us?
Okay. Let's see here. I would like to give my nomination to Madame Janice. I love her attitude. It makes me set a fire in my heart. It is chef's the kiss. I like how you take shit from no one, even those who love you. It's beautiful.
Shit, that means it's harder to get rid of them.
I really cannot wait until I meet you in character. It will be such an interesting interaction. Literally, the definition of aloof versus all of you. It's terrifying and also exciting. I love your character. You are my nomination.
Oh.
And wishes. I didn't get to it this session, but I am going to try to figure out a way in character, once again, to feed our little gremlin without having to make her feed the normal way. So I'm going to give her the tofu fear, or whatever it is you eat.
Tofu fear?
Yeah.
That's cute. Tofu fear.
Yeah, you missed that whole conversation last week, but there's a lot of deliberation, trust me. And I think that was one of the funniest answers that we came up with. So
Oh my
very
god.
actually real. So it's so funny for that reason as well. But I think that's a great wish. I would love to see it. But Janice, since you were Stag's nomination, can you do stars and wishes for us next?
Yeah. Oh, that means I have to make a choice. I would have to say, I have to say, Neuron cracks me up. That poor man. He's in for some shit. Yeah, I mean, I think it has to, okay, and I have to make a decision. I have to say Neuron. Um, uh, just kind of the way that he was able to bounce off and just kind of go with it. I really appreciated that, especially since I had no idea who he was when he first woke up. So that was fun. And explain to me what wishes are again. Let me know. Aside from the tofu, how does that work?
It's what you want
Essentially.
to happen next session.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a physical thing, doesn't have to be a mechanical thing. It's more or less something that you hope for in the game, something you want to see, something that you want to change, something that you're excited about. Essentially, it's a way to give feedback at the end of every session. So that way I know what you guys like, what you dislike, and what you think needs to change. For example, we um we ended up having a long conversation that changed a lot of our rules at the end of last session because of some wishes that were brought up.
I mean, I am enjoying everything. I think the fade to black, like the cuts and conversations moving to someplace else, I think it's done very well. I think the way that the story moves on, I think everybody's doing a great job with that. Wishes. I mean, I have to second that tofu fear. I'm very interested in that tofu fear.
Yeah. I mean, first and foremost, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm still so bad at taking compliments, but I really appreciate that. It is one of those storytelling things that has come with a long history of storytelling, and I appreciate that it comes off as
Mm-hmm.
something that you enjoy. So thank you for that. Um, okay. With that being said, Neron, will you give us your stars and your wishes? Because hopefully we'll see you next session as well.
My stars and my wishes. Okay. Yeah, no, I gotta go with Janice for also being able to bounce around whilst not knowing a thing about my character or who they even were. Yeah. My
I do want to
wishes.
I do want to preface this. We did talk about this, and it was a Genesis backstory. It's just that sometimes players forget things, and that is actually okay. You see how we
Totally
rolled with it?
forgot.
We just gave you
Mhm.
amnesia. We're just like, okay, you
Yeah.
hit your head too hard.
No, just mild
Groggy,
amnesia.
groggy from the medication. I just woke up.
I'm so sorry.
Ay, Dios. Okay. My wishes. Hmm.
Totally okay if you don't have one, since you are kind of guest starring. Um, maybe it's just something cool that you want to see next time you come around. Maybe someone you want to interact with.
Yeah, no, I want to have an interaction with Me personally, I want to have an interaction with everyone. I love everyone's characters.
Mm-hmm.
They're all amazing. Everyone's amazing.
Everyone's amazing. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean,
That's a pretty
really.
good wish. Yeah, that's a pretty good wish. I'm not mad at that one. Keeper, will you do stars and wishes for us next?
Sure. My star has to go to Janice / Neuron. That entire interaction was chef's kiss. If I have to pick one, I'll say Janice. We learned a lot about your character in very subtle ways, and I always appreciate that. I'm very curious to meet her and hope she doesn't try to kill us. My wish. It's for more Neuron. Hands down. I want to see the tea between these two characters. I don't know if you guys developed anything, but I want to see it. It is piping hot, it is spicy, and I'm here for it.
I need to hear that voice more.
Yeah. And that.
That is honest. Do you know now what I'm talking about, Carlos? Do you get it? Do you understand?
I suppose.
Mimic, every Wednesday is Halloween because your voice is like candy.
Oh, thank you.
It's fucking smooth.
I appreciate
Wow. The Riz. The absolute Riz.
Coming from the core.
it. Jesus. Too much.
I like giving Mimic confidence.
Mm.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. I only speak truth.
Sylvie, do you want to give us your stars and wishes?
Sylvie's sleeping. She's eaten too much tofu.
No, I do not wish to do this.
Sylvie, are you muted? Possible?
No tofu for you.
Ah, sad. No tofu for you. We'll come back to Sylvie. Stellan, stars and wishes.
I am going to let 13th Hour change mine to Gabo for the snazzy one-liner.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
one, though?
stealing that.
Which one?
The hitting on their own.
Oh, you mean
Hitting
just
on,
now?
Everyone's
Just
in
now.
Halloween with you because your voice is candy.
Jeez.
100%. Made my night.
Best thing that happened all night didn't even happen in the game.
Yep.
The
transformation of Stellan was. We're gonna
That's
bring
the
out
best
the
thing about
weird.
role-playing
That was funny.
games. That's the best thing about role-playing games. It's recovering from the role-playing.
My honorable mention in that case will go to San for not making us roll dice, and I know that's hypocritical of me, but it's very World of Darkness. So welcome to the World of Darkness.
Also, kudos to like all the little side parts you play. Seriously.
I love it.
Guys, stop! Stop doing that! Leave me alone!
No,
It's amazing.
no, you and Mimic will take your compliments.
Word.
Thank you for knowing that I love to roll
Please.
dice and making me the only one who rolled dice. I love it.
Redirect all your compliments to San.
Well, actually,
No.
redirect all your compliments to Carlos.
Nah. To San.
Um,
San deserves it far more.
Well, I'll
But
take a compliment.
Listen, there's enough to go around.
okay, there you go. There's the solution. Redirect all of our compliments to Royal.
Royal,
Battle setup.
Not
you
all
are
of them.
amazing, my man.
He plays such a soft little stag. It's so cute.
It's so adorable. It's so adorable.
You should have seen Stag when he was a baby.
He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, you feel sad about. Was that what you were talking about? You were sad for like hurting a hunter.
Yes, very much.
Oh my god, that's precious. She would have killed you. At least tried.
Fucking hell.
And that's the crazy part is that honestly, girl, you probably I really doubt you could. I really doubt it.
Like,
The
Probably.
thing is, you
She'll
have
have fun
seen
trying.
a prime example of what happens whenever Sag faces confrontation with Sylvie almost killing him. Even though it was not really a threat, he still felt like it was his fault, so he felt the need to apologize to his assailant.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
My stars and wishes, my biggest wish, I cannot wait for you guys to get together. Seriously. I cannot wait. But for now, we actually are going to start to end the stream. We're going to start to say goodnight. And I believe we're going to look for someone to raid. Is that right, Gaba?
Yes, that's right. I'm checking out the
Lord.
vampire channels. I'm gonna raid Rolling Nomads. I think they were up. Yippee!
Yippee!
Yeah, Rolling Nomads was live last week, and so I'm gonna raid them today. So, all right, goblins, we're gonna go say hi to Rolling Nomads and see what's going on in their World of Darkness game. So, everyone, hold on to this stream and come on with me because you get more points to fart all over my channel. Or today's favorite, the Yippee. Although Mimic currently has the shoes, so you need points to steal them back. So
My shoes.
for now, you stole them from Shy, who stole them from Avocado. I'm keeping track. All right, everyone, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.
I'm taking the fucking shoes. Nobody takes my shoes.
Give me the fucking clogs!
Milgada! Bye, guys!